Hello and welcome back to Racing Through Radio. I'm your host Sam Moore and I'm here to talk to you all about what's happening over at Ransomville Speedway this past Friday night. The 15th annual Labor Night at the races benefiting the United Way of Niagara County took place Friday night. Phil Vinegri and Matt Williamson brought on the Crown Undercoating 358 Modifieds to green flag for their 30-lap feature event, with Williamson taking the lead on the start. The red flag would come out on lap 6 for a multi-car incident in turn 3 as Andrew Smith, Alan Wills, Greg Martin, Steve Lewis Jr., and Brandon Michaud all collided. The restart green would allow Williamson to take off in the lead ahead of the group. Susie and Brakeman battled for many laps, with Susie taking the third spot on lap 9. Susie would close in on Vinegri for second place as Williamson would go and score the win in the feature, making it his 27th career win at the Big R in the 358 modified features. Nathan Rindali and John Inter were on the front row for the Vanderlyn Building Products Northeast Late Model Alliance main event, with Rindali going 3 wide with Mick Inter and Charlie Sandercock, with Sandercock taking over the lead. A super cool part of this race was watching Jimmy Johnson work his way through the field. He started 22nd and by lap 6 was up to 7th place. It's not exactly something easy to do. There's a lot of traffic to work through, and it wasn't just something that happened once this feature. It happened twice. 21st place, David Pingrizio would work his way up to 10th place by lap 8. This race was all about big movements and racing hard. Over the final 10 laps, Charlie Sandercock would pull away from the field and would go on to collect the checkered flag in the Vanderlyn Products Northeast Late Model Alliance main event. Jocelyn Just and Tyler Foster led the Kevin's Carpet Cleaning Novice Sportsmen to green flag in their feature event, with Foster jumping out from the lead. Kevin Camridge would take over second place while Niall Pendowski would slip into third. While working lap traffic, Pendowski would make his way to the lead and would go to score his second straight feature win in the Kevin's Carpet Cleaning Novice Sportsman feature. Ryan Plant and Matt Hornquist were on the front row of the Sunflowers of Mini-Stock feature event. Hornquist would continue to set the pace for the feature event and held off challenges from Plant, Cole Susie, and Jeffrey Wines. Susie would challenge Hornquist for the lead over the final 6 laps, but Hornquist would hold off Susie's attempts and score the feature win.
Ready to take your home from the pits to the winner's circle? Rendell Painting and Renovation Services has the crew that will get you there. One call does it all. 845-5544. Race fans, take a pit stop at the Thousand Islands Cruet for olive oils and vinegars that will bring the taste of victory right to your kitchen. Dress your salads, marinate your meats. Visit them online, thecruet.com.
Admittedly, that's more in detail than I typically go into race recounts for the past week. But if I'm being honest, I just kind of had an off week this week. You ever feel like that? It feels like you're constantly pedal to the metal, but it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. You're racing, and you're racing for that one positive thing you've been looking forward to all week, and it just ultimately feels out of reach. This week, that's just kind of how it was. There was so many new faces in the pits that honestly probably could have given me not only fantastic interviews, but fresh perspective. My sportsman cars weren't there, and with that, my home base was completely gone. My tank was completely running on empty before I had even gotten to the track, so I went home. Yeah, going pedal to the metal and getting everything done all the time is great, but as many drivers have heard, sometimes to go fast and to go fast correctly, you have to go slow. So I let myself go slow. I slipped towards the back of the crowds, and I watched the races online this week. It was super fun to watch, but not sitting there and feeling all the engines revving and feeling the craziness of everybody around you trying to work on their car. It makes you appreciate the races completely different. But outside of sitting in my bed watching races with a bag of potato chips, what else did I do? Well, I talked to my grandpa about the racing he watched growing up. I printed some good old race merchandise, and I may or may not have watched all 3 Cars movies, but hey, don't judge me. The point of it was sometimes you have to slow down a little bit. You have to appreciate the stuff happening around you, because if you don't, you're going to miss it. You don't have to go, go, go if you don't really know where you're going. Sometimes you have to be patient. And it's something I've honestly wanted to sit down and talk to a few drivers about. I guess it's not really something I think about while I'm in the interview process. It's always something I think about when I'm at home or when I'm watching somebody get into an accident on the track. How do they stay calm in the car? How do they know what opening is the right opening? And how do they know when they're not just wasting time? Do they understand how bad the second Cars movie is and how it has actually nothing to do with racing? Fun fact, I didn't know what a pull car was until I rewatched the Cars movie before this season, And I think if I ever admitted that to my father, he would probably be a little disappointed in me. But regardless of the fact that everybody knows how bad that movie is, back to my actual point, taking a week off interviewing doesn't absolutely ruin my show. But allowing myself to miss out on a little bit of content really allowed myself to just take a minute to breathe and really appreciate what this show is for me. It gave me an opportunity to spend time with my family and friends and relax. Yeah, maybe I don't have a reward-winning episode with super juicy interviews this week, but why push a car if you know you're going to break it? It's not always about winning. It's not always about ending up in top 3. It's about having a good time. It's about having fun. It's about knowing when it's good to take a break, knowing when it's good to slow down.
Failed start on your home improvement project? Brendel Painting and Remodeling Services are here. Let them take you to the finish line. One call does it all. 845-5544. Need a pit stop for flavor? Stop in to the Thousand Islands Cruet for olive oils and vinegars to marinate your meats and elevate your eats. Find your checkered flag flavor online at thecruet.com.
Next Friday night, Northtown Mahindra and Waste Management presents a family autograph night. This will be a good, fun night. Honestly, it's one of my favorites during the year. During intermission, all the drivers pull out, some of them have signed pictures, and you just get to actually go talk to the drivers driving. I've talked to so many of the drivers back in the pits, and absolutely all of them have just been so nice and so kind to me, regardless of how little I know about racing most of the time. They're just willing to talk. They're willing to share what they know with you. Everybody back there wants to help you and help build this community. So fans are the biggest reason we do this show. I mean, some of the cooler drivers have candy. I mean, it's more saved for the Halloween night later at the track. But, I mean, if they have candy... The racing action will feature the Crown Undercoating 358 Modifieds, the Sterling Lubricant Durcar Sportsman, the Kaipo Chevrolet Street Stocks, the Sunflowers of Sanborn Mini Stocks, and the Kevin's Carpet Cleaning Novice Sportsman. Welcome back to the cars who were not here last week. We missed you dearly. As always, the pits will open at 5 p.m., the grandstands will open shortly after at 6 p.m., and then the racing will get underway at 7:15. Typically, this is where I would bring us to the end of our show. But as this airs, it'll be Father's Day. So I would like to take a moment to thank all the dads at the track and listening today. So much of the racing scene is passed down through your hands. Thank you for bringing young people in. Thank you for making this scene somewhere where I could feel safe and welcomed. And lastly, thank you to my dad, who is really the whole reason I do this show to begin with. He allows me to take the week off when I need it. He's allowed me to do so much with this race show that I wouldn't have even imagined being possible. So thank you for talking me out of all my fears of what this radio show could be. Thank you for helping me get over my fear of talking to people. And thank you for introducing me to what racing really could be. Now, that'll bring us to the end of our show. As always, I hope to see you at the track Friday, and if I can't, I hope to catch you back here Sunday at noon. If you're running late or you missed any part of the episode, or maybe who knows, you just can't get enough of listening to old episodes of Racing Through Radio, Monday, you can find the full episodes listed on the WLVL website.